We're breaking down another dance practice today, and this time it's to us with their song Oh My 7S. I think I'm supposed to say the entire title. They're a group that hasn't debuted just yet, but they are under the same label as 17. So I'm excited for this group to debut just because, you know, they basically are 17's little brothers. They're crazy. Their dance skill is insane. If you guys haven't watched my reaction to their music video, go watch that because they're crazy. Anyway, let's go and break this one down. If you guys haven't subscribed to my new gaming channel, Ladies Man TTV, go and subscribe to that because I'm gonna go and post all my gaming content on there. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's go and roll it, baby. What I love about this intro is that they already give us playful vibes, right? And it goes straight into the choreo once the beat drops. And what's another thing to point out is that this entire dance is filled with choreo and formation changes. It's a lot of footwork and athleticism as well. And that was good with the lyrics right there. Baseball and they hit like a home run kind of thing. And what's cool is that they have a good mixture of being playful with some formations and then going back straight into choreo and effects. Like that was a cool scrolling effect that wasn't like a full scrolling effect, if that makes sense. So before we even get to the chorus, right, I want to actually point this part out where they have like a line on the left hand side and almost like a diagonal on the other side. It's right here. So like this formation right here was very clever because you got this like mini diagonal with some sort of like line, and it looks like, if you look at it from the top down view, it almost looks like a T on the side. But this was cool, like a mini scrolling effect that I want to point out here, because it activates the line to go back to here, right? Alright, so the important thing to point out about the entire thing from the intro all the way until the chorus is that pay attention to how playful they start at the beginning, right? They have this like kind of theatrical sound, and then they play around with effects and visuals there rather than doing choreo. And then right when they get to the intro, like when the beat drops, they immediately start doing all this choreo that is essentially energetic, fast, footwork heavy, and not only is it footwork heavy, but it's very athletic. So you're gonna see them jumping around in this entire dance practice, like maybe not in the literal sense, and also in the literal sense, because they're such a new group and they're young. Well, they're not even a group just yet, all right? But because they're young, they have all this energy, right? So pay attention to how clean they are. And so when I say clean, their details and textures and like the way that they show pictures in their choreo is very, very clean and like precise, meaning that this gives that illusion of being synchronized. So yeah. And then let's get to the chorus. This is probably my favorite, or like at least this part is my favorite, one of my favorites in the dance practice. Nice formation change real quick. And full range of motion when they do that diamond thing with their arms. More jump. There's jumping. There we go. And you know what's cool about this choreo is that they're not overdoing the full, like being full out. So with this entire chorus, right, you're going to see them jumping around. There's like a lot of athleticism within the choreo. And you'll notice that they're doing a lot of blades in their actual choreo. This makes them look cleaner, by the way, because like if you look at my hand right here, this is essentially what we like to call blade when it comes to cleaning choreo. So if you notice that they're doing this like V thing with their hands, it's blades, right? It's easier to look synchronized when you can get everyone to look exactly the same, including their finger, all the way down to their fingertips. All right, not only that the choreo flows well, but they have a good mixture of making sure that there's powerful movement, but then they'll slow it down in certain parts of the choreo so that we don't get overwhelmed with details of the choreo. And then yeah, they just have a lot of energy, and they also don't overdo the energy as well. They keep it well controlled, but they give us enough energy to be like, oh my god, yo, they're popping off. They're popping off. And what's cool with this specific dance practice, the moving version, nice ripple effect there. I'm gonna just go back just so you guys can see it real quick. They play around with angles, actually. They move around in like different parts of the room and face different parts of the room. Okay, so I want to go back to this part right here. Pay attention to also how much they're extending their arms. They're not like dancing inside this small invisible box, but rather than breaking out of it. So they're really using the full extension of their arms when they have to throw it out there. Especially that part. And this is a great build-up right here to the second chorus, right? To us. So that was a great build-up for this second chorus right here, right? So they kind of go into this verse, and then they kind of slowly speed up the choreo to the point where you can feel that there's a build-up to the chorus, especially where they say something about concentration and they are doing like some pumping move, and then they get into the chorus. I'm actually just gonna rewind so I can kind of clarify with you guys. So it's like kind of after the mini verse right here, when this guy gets center. They're building it up for us. Nice. This is like a cool, I want to say this is a ripple effect, but it was a cool, like, he changes levels and then the rest of the members who are surrounding him does this like roll off effect slash, I want to say ripple. And again, the only thing I would say was, and I think this was meant for the music video, is this is what caught me off guard, is he kind of leaves, right? The guy in the jersey, or one of them, goes to the formation. Oh, okay, so this guy right here. So it's weird because he kind of just leaves the formation and then joins back in. But it's fine because, again, this is an idol group. This isn't like a dance team or anything. But it's for the, I'm sure it's for the music video. But I think, even though it's just 6 members, right? They're gonna have a tough time with having formations that are symmetrical. But they do the performance director does a good job here of not allowing that non-symmetry to kind of like take over. You'll notice that they do a lot of formations where it does not look like they only have 6 people. And I'm gonna go back to this. They're using blades again to this part right here. Nice spin. A lot of footwork, more full extensions with their arms. This dance break that's coming up, crazy. Great way to do this. Again, throwing out their arms, right? They're looking at another different side of the room. Here, before we end it off right there. So they use this moving version for the dance practice to go and face a different part of the room. Love this. Damn. And I think what I really like about this is the shoulder part that's coming up. And they throw it off and end it off. So what I really like about that dance break is the fact that they just get into it. They throw and then they kind of just essentially throw the remaining energy that they have at us. And it's crazy because they were already doing that throughout the entire song, but once they get there, I felt like they got more energy and just threw it more at us, which is crazy. But what I want to point out with this dance break is actually the footwork and this seamless like switching around to a different part of the room to be able to just show us what the choreo is. And again, pay attention to their arms and hands where there's blades, and pay attention to how they're throwing their arms out. They're not closed in. They're really open, if that makes sense. They throw it out to where it's like if you throw something, they're really doing it versus not committing to it. Well, and I'll just play it one more time just because this is such a good dance break to look at. Nice throwing right there. And there's a lot of strength in their arms as well. And pay attention to the footwork here. Nice switch up to give us contrast. Using choreo to get into the last line. And they're going to go and condense in for this last formation. I think this group is going to become really popular. And I know they haven't debuted yet, but I think that was one of my recent favorite dance practices that I've seen in a while. Just because it was very choreo heavy. And it wasn't focused on being serious, but rather being playful and having fun with it. But at the same time, even though, like I said earlier, it wasn't being serious, they have a good balance of like, we have to kill this shit first before it looks like we can have fun. What I like about it is that they have all this energy, so I hope that they become really popular. And they're also under the same label as 17, which basically makes them 17's little brother or little brothers. So I'm excited for TWS. I think they debut on the 22nd of January, so if I'm wrong, let me know, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So I can't wait. But if you guys are pre-debut stans, you know, go and subscribe. I'm gonna go and break down their dance practices and react to their stuff. Peace.